Hey, we're here on the podcast with Shekhar Mayanil, who is an educator, an author, and he's a neuroscientist. And he has a best-selling book called The Gravity of Gratitude, Yogic Neuroscience, Understanding of Gratitude. It's on Amazon.com. And we're going to find out today on all these amazing ideas, especially how there's thankfulness and there's gratefulness, but there's also this much deeper idea, gratitude, which is a state of being that leads to self-introspection and transformation. We'll find out getting our vitamin G and how to let go, forgive, act with love and compassion, acceptance and surrender, fulfillment, so much more. So, Shekhar, glad to be speaking with you.
Thank you, Robert. That was appreciated. Very, very genuinely nice introduction. I really appreciate that.
And I appreciate you. And I find that I many times struggle with some of these ideas that you mention in your book. It's easy enough to say that you should be grateful for what you have and you should be happy, but it's sometimes so difficult to get through life. So what do you have to say to us today to help us be happier and more fulfilled?
There is when you are, it's gratitude is not just an attitude. So when you appreciate that whatever you have been given so far is not your earning.
Okay.
Whatever you have been given thus far is not your effort. It is a grace. Once you appreciate grace, you will know what gratitude is. That uh, to give an example, in my first chapter, that is exactly what my dad. I was in Bangalore uh, at National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences. I was a brand new lecturer. So that time, I mean, you know that I wanted to do more research, more in-depth, hands-on research, and I was given the task of teaching only. And there was no such thing as real research to begin with. So I was trying to do research, and the boss was kind of not cooperating, or I was not cooperating, or I don't know which one. So I was having bad attitude once upon a time. So it was so my mother, father, everybody knew that this fellow is something is not right. But I was quiet and at home and kind of angry. The face looked angry almost. So my dad one day said, "Have you taken your vitamin G complex?" And I went out and I said, "What is that G complex?" "I take B complex because I am deficient in vitamin B12 and B6 and all that. So, but what is this G complex?" Well, I forgot about it and then I came back. My father and my mother used to go to temples. In Bangalore, there are some wonderful, great temples. And what they do is you take the shoes. We don't go inside the temple with our shoes on. So we keep the shoes outside. And my mother and I went inside, and my father was still standing outside. So when I came home, I asked my dad. I said, "Dad, why don't you go to temple? I have never seen you go to the temple ever. You take us all there. You go there and you stand outside. Why is that so?" He said, "It's a good question. Yeah, your mom also always keeps on asking me the same question, and I have never told her yet. So let's give the answer to you both. So call your mom." I said, she sat there, and I said, "Why?" My dad said, "Why do you go to the temple anyway?" So as a mom thing, all moms in the universe are the same. They go to ask within quotes, ask for, fill in the blanks. So he said, my dad said, "That's the reason I don't want to go inside, because you ask, people like you, hundreds of them are there, and all of them are asking. And I am afraid that I'll get sucked into asking. When I'm not done thanking my breath, one moment I can only thank my breath. Next moment, again, the breath. Do not know how to thank for the rest of the universe that I have been given to. I have never thanked God for you yet. I never thanked God for Shekhar yet. I've never thanked God for the trees that we have, the house that we live in. Everything is given in such enormous plenty, and I'm not done yet thanking my breath, because that is, see, he said that, and he started to cry almost. He said, God, I will never be able to thank you for the rest of the thing that you have bestowed upon me. He was, and he just, and it was a pin drop silence there. And my mother felt so miserable that time. She bowed down in real humility. He said, I have been judging you all my life, that you are an atheist and you are not doing such and such. You come to the temple, that makes me think why you are coming to the temple, but then I don't see you inside, and I was judging probably he's an atheist. So no, you are much more deeper. You are thanking the God at every breath, because my dad later on explained me that breath, without the breath, does it the whole world make sense? No, you're done.
No.
No breath means finished. So that breath
Right.
is not our earning. You have never earned the breath. You have been given it with infinite grace, infinite mercy, infinite, I don't know what else can you say. Infinite of everything.
Right.
Without that you will not live. Can you not? So once you appreciate grace being showered upon you in maximum plenty, there is no way you will not be gratitude. You have gratitude. You will have gratitude. So this is this is
That's
how.
beautiful.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, so much has been given to us, and
Yes.
I love the stories in your book. Like there's when you were giving the speech, and you said that uh, like if a turtle is put on the podium, like it was put there, and so likewise you had your job position, and like it took other people to get you to where you
Yes.
are as well. So we're given
Yes.
so much in life, and we don't even realize it or
Mm,
appreciate it.
yes. Yes. That speech is on YouTube, by the way. If you
Oh,
would like to check it out sometime, just
I
put
need
my
to.
name there. You will probably get a. It's on YouTube because it was recorded in at the Lurie Children's Hospital when they were endowing me for a position. It's a
Right.
endowed position. Eleanor Clark, scholar in developmental neurobiology. That was the that was the speech when I gave. And I've been blessed with so many great people in my life, to be very honest. Even the ones afterwards, once you appreciate gratitude, you know what, Robert? Even the problems you start thanking, because the problem came to
Mhm.
you to tell you something.
Yeah.
Even the worst of the worst human being can, despicable, so called. I don't see any more despicable human being because all are beautiful people. Maybe he has taken a form of a despicable just to tell you what you need to fix within you.
And it seems like there's so much of that especially when it comes to things like forgiveness, this idea that I can't control anything outside of me. What I can control is my
Yeah,
actions and my thinking. So in any situation, if I'm unhappy, if I'm frightened, I need to work on me.
on me. Yes, not other. That fellow must have just come to tell you, oh, what was the message he was communicating. You go into the behind aspect of what he said. Not try to judge him or try to denounce him or try to flush him out. No, he came here for specific reason. Some purpose was there. Let me fix
Yeah.
myself, and that is a gift. That is a existence has been so graceful upon you to send that person in front of you so that you change.
Yes.
Same thing. I would like to. This is not written in the book. This is this. It just came out when I was getting married. I was like, our marriage was arranged marriage, right? In India, arranged marriage means you meet somebody in some common party or somewhere. Somebody introduces you, and that after introduction, that person moves away, and then you keep talking to each other without knowing that there is a match going to be happening here. We just both are free because there is no such pressure, right? We just
Right.
meet, and of course, my sister-in-law said, "What do you think about that girl?" Sister-in-law means my brother's wife, right? What do you think
Yeah.
about that girl? I say she is nice, good. So, but anyway, I got engaged and I came home. I said, Dad, I asked my dad, Dad, how do you marry? How do you get married when you don't know a whole lot of about the other person, except one meeting or two meeting, maybe that's about it. He said, are you kidding me? Okay, call your mom. That will be interesting. He always says, call the mom. He said,
Yeah.
do I know you? No, no, do you know me? He asked first, do you know me? He says, my mother said, no, I don't know much about you yet. I said, are you asked me about her? I don't know. See, the in life, marriage is not for you to know the other person. Marriage is for the other. Whenever the other person tells something, it is for you to know yourself. The other person is just a mirror telling you what you need to fix. The It is nothing to do with knowing the other person. And if you are obedient person in life, you your wife will tell you all the flaws you have. You better
Sure.
respect that, and you tell her, I am so thankful that you showed me my flaws. Wife is there to show you your flaws, not to put you down. You have to appreciate that what she's saying as a matter of grace. The Lord, in His infinite mercy and grace, has sent you this wife to for you to evolve from within, rather than trying to beat them down. It is not beat them down means try to belittle them or try to be angry with them. That's not the purpose. Purpose is to make yourself better, and there is nobody
Yes.
else in the planet who can make you better than your wife.
Oh,
My dad
there you
said
go.
that, and my mother started laughing and went away after that.
Well, you think about this gravitation towards trying to change other people. It's a shortcut, and it's one that doesn't work. And you think about
Never,
it when
never.
you don't have control over yourself and your life, and you end up lashing out and trying to control all these things that won't make a difference. It's very irrational behavior.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is why my father says, if you need to fix is you. There is
Yes.
nothing else out there. World is perfect, absolutely perfect. He said, world is
Hmm.
absolutely perfect. Only you are trying to change it as per your convenience, as per your outlook. No, no, no. You change yourself, and the world will just absolutely perfect.
Very nice. So in your book, you share some of these powerful ideas, and there's all these great stories. Like I like when you became angry at your lab assistant, and then you went back and looked at what you had done, and you were like, "Oh no,
Ah,
I'm the
ah.
problem." And then it seems like you keep going back in your book to the thank you exercise with the breathing, and I only started doing that yesterday, and I need to do it more. Like anything, you need to kind of make it a habit, and I love the concept. So, can you explain the thank you breathing exercise to us?
Yes, actually, thank you breathing exercise has apparently two components in the beginning, and it looks like thank you when you're saying, when you're taking deep breath, inhale deeply and mentally say thank over the breath itself. Thank this breath itself.
Okay.
Thank, and then pause for a while, and then you pause for 7 seconds. That is what my dad told me. Pause for 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Inhale deeply, pause for 7 seconds, and exhale deeply. Exhale completely, and then again pause. While inhaling, you say thank, and while exhaling, you say you. Now there is a pause between when nothing is happening. That is where the most important things are happening actually. So there is this breathing component as well as the gratitude component. There are two
Yeah.
components in this breathing component and the gratitude component. What does breathing component do is what I have described in the book in massive detail on the neuroscience part of it. What How does breathing and when you say thank you, the gratitude component, how the gratitude rewires your brain, and especially the prefrontal cortex, insular cortex, and meso pre prefrontal mesocortex. All those things I have described in a lot of detail as to what. But if you consistently practice this inhalation, exhalation, especially in chapter 9, the last two lines of chapter 9, if you read last two lines of the chapter 9, I sat there and I did that seven seven times, breathing, inhale, exhale, thank you, and again continuously doing it for 7 times, then 70 times, then 700 times, and I don't know, after that I did not even count. And I just kept it, and I was sitting there 16 hours at a stretch. I just, and I lost, I don't know how many, just kept on breathing. So that is the meditative component. It goes directly into meditativeness, where you will have the first encounter of who you are. In that consciousness space, you will know who you are. What is it? Is it this body? Is this name? Is this degree? Is this? All these are all labels, but we don't know who we are truly. And this thank you protocol, if you just keep doing this, it leads you to your true nature.
Ooh.
And that true nature is, I cannot tell you what it. Words are insufficient to tell, because words, experience and words are totally, no, there is no way you can only experience it. If you try to describe it, it's limitation.
Okay.
It's just a limitation. It doesn't cover anything. It just, so if you do this, I have seen so many emails, so many texts from various unknown people, especially LinkedIn is full of those messages. And email, of course, I wrote my email in my introduction, so people immediately uh, email it to me, and they have a discussion. And I said, when I told them the essence of the last two lines of chapter 9, I said, I just sat there 16 hours. That is the meditative component. I just did not write meditative component. I wanted people to try that on their own. One person asked me, especially, you said you sitting 16 hours. How did that? What did that do to you? I said, you do it and you tell me what it is. You will not be able to. He did it. Actually, after 6 months, it took him for doing that. Later on, he called me. I am so sorry. I was asking you what he did. Wow, how is the feeling? I said, no, no, you cannot tell the feeling. I said, he did it. I said, how do you feel? I said, I can't tell you. This is what it is. So if you sit there with the same process, it does not necessarily mean 16 hour will happen on the first day. No, 16 hour or 4 hour, even if it is 4 hours of doing this, you will experience something truly transformational that time. That is the transformation we are looking for
Yes.
in the
And
world.
we need to build up to this. And I like
Yes,
this idea of finding your inner self, because if you don't, then you attach these different